My name is Gilles Mongeau. I'm a Roman Catholic priest and a member of the Society of Jesus, the Jesuits. I went to Frank Ryan Senior Elementary and then graduated from St. Pius X High School in 1982. You know, my time at Pius X was incredibly important to kind of lay some foundations for the work that I do now and have done over the last 30 years. You know, we had a community life there, and the faculty, the staff really encouraged us to go out and engage with the world as a faith stance, as a community faith stance. I was in Jesuit formation 12 years, then did a doctorate in theology, taught theology at Regis College at the University of Toronto and in Paris as well. And then in 2018, became the Assistant Provincial Superior of the Jesuits of Canada. You know, the big part of what I do now as the Assistant to the Superior of the Jesuits is community building. There used to be two Jesuit provinces, we call them provinces, two Jesuit units in Canada, French Canada, English Canada. And since 2018, we are one, bilingual reality. And so there's a lot of simply community building, community formation work so that our various institutions, the actual Jesuits, really get a sense of becoming one, you know, and functioning as one body at the service of the gospel. That's a wonderful thing. I mean, that kind of facilitation work, animation work is something that I love to do. I think that also the fact that I'm still connected to formation with younger Jesuits gives me a lot of life. That's the big picture. But during that time, I was able to be a university chaplain, a parish priest, hospital chaplain. I worked with people living with HIV and AIDS. I was a pastoral minister for L'Arche in Toronto. I worked with Catholic school boards on welcoming LGBTQ plus students, particularly in the high school setting, and also worked accompanying parishes, accompanying LGBTQ plus Catholics in a parish setting. Particularly when we talk about welcoming people who are excluded, people who are marginalized, it can be really abstract. And the work that I've done, that I've had the real privilege to do over the years, has actually helped me meet people and get to know them and talk to them and enter into their lives. And having faces and names and stories that have been part of my life because I've engaged with them makes a huge difference to how I think of what I'm doing now. It gives it life and thickness and texture. Once you've had that experience, that encounter, you can't think about problems or struggles or challenges in the church or in society in the same way. You don't think about them from the center of things, you think about it from the margins. You know the double commandment to love, you know, love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. So very often I think, we think of, yeah, I love God and I love neighbor, and that "and" is kind of a connector, but it doesn't say much about the two pieces. You know, I mean, in some ways, you know, the struggles we have in the church now have to do with people who choose one over the other and put them in competition with each other. You know, no, it's all social justice work. It's love neighbor, and others, you know, no, you've got to love God and charity's nice, but and we end up with these divisions because people have that and for me. I can't tell you when it happened, but I remember realizing that for me, I love God in and through my love of the neighbor. I give flesh to my love of God. I incarnate my love of God in my love of neighbor by showing that love in deeds. And that's the most foundational thing.